what he has inherited. Have you taken that up before? Yes. When did you take that up? Remember, rights derived from obligations are generally transmissible unless law, stipulation, or nature of the obligation states otherwise. Remember? Kung ano yan sa obligations? Do you remember? Our example is ticket, volleyball, Saturday. Diba? Oh, this is a contract between me and UAAP. It's a contract between me and UAAP. Am I going to watch? No. Actually, a friend of mine wanted to watch and give me tickets. Okay? So, I will give this to my assigned. I entered into a contract with UAAP. I can transfer this to my assigned. He can now go to the venue and watch. Why? Because he is now bound by this agreement. Kuha? Kuha? How about yung kabila? My contract is between UAAP and me. The contract is between UAAP and me. But where will I bring this? Will I bring this to UAAP? No, I will bring it to MOA Arena. Diba? I will bring it to MOA Arena. Tell them I will watch. Because MOA Arena is the assigned of UAAP. Diba? So, MOA cannot refuse me entrance because I have a ticket. They are bound by this ticket. Kuha? Assigns. Okay? What about heirs? Okay? The first paragraph talks about this one. Okay? Meaning, if Philip owes Joseph 50,000, Philip and Joseph died, who can collect? Joseph Jr. can collect from Philip Jr. Why? Because they are heirs. They are heirs. In fact, this is one of those instances where legal subrogation takes place. Okay? Joseph can claim from Philip. Is Philip liable? Only to the extent what he inherited from Philip. If he did not inherit anything, then he's not liable. But if he inherited 50,000, he has to turn over the entire amount to Joseph. Kuha? Kuha? Oh, so that is second paragraph. Okay? Now that's the first paragraph. Why? What does the second paragraph state? If a contract should contain some stipulation in favor of a third person, he may demand its fulfillment provided he communicated his acceptance to the obligor before its revocation. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? If a contract should contain some stipulation in favor of a third person, he may demand its fulfillment provided he communicated his acceptance to the obligor before its revocation. Our example there is Lusotan. Remember the Nino who forgot all about you? Diba? PNB all of a sudden appears at your door and tells you, Lusotan, your Ninong established a 20 million trust fund in your favor so that its interest will be delivered to you. What should you do? What should you do? Oh. What's the first thing that you should do? PNG approach, knocked on your door, o may trust paano in-establish ang ninong mo para sa iyo. Interest note pupunta sa inyo every year. What will you do? What will you do? Tawagan mo agad yung ninong mo. Diba? Tumawag ka na sa ninong mo. Bakit? Thank you, Nino. Maraming salamat. Why? What did you do? You accepted. Why? If you did not accept, Lusotan can withdraw at any time. He can withdraw at any time. Kuha? Kuha? Please note, this is called contracts for atruy. Okay? Which is a contract entered into for the specific benefit of a third party. Okay? Second paragraph. Question. Paragraph 12.12, 13.12. In contracts creating real rights, third persons who come to the possession of the object of the contract are bound thereby, subject to the provision of mortgage law. What's that? Very simple. You went to the mall, you bought a cell phone. Bought a cell phone, you paid for a cell phone. Diba? You paid for a cell phone. What's your right on the cell phone? Diba? You went to Smart Communications, okay? I'm buying this unit. Okay, you pay. Binayaran mo. Do you have a right over the phone? What's your right? What right do you have over the phone? What? Bumubulong kayo what? Ha? A right to demand. Give me the phone. Diba? Can you use the phone already? It hasn't been given to you. How can you use it? Diba? Can you put your contacts? It's not yet with you. Therefore, you have no real rights over the same. Remember, we took that up? Diba? As soon as it is delivered to you, do you now have real rights?
Yes.
Therefore, you have entered into a contract that created a real right. And it then tells you that even if a third person holds possession of the object, he is bound by that real right. Meaning, so you bought a cell phone, wow, okay, ganda. Sabi ng friend mo, can I see? Will you give it to your friend? Can I see? Gusto ko na lang, I'm planning to buy one also. So, di inabot mo. Can you say, okay, thank you? What right do you have? What right do you have? Diba? It becomes a personal right again. Give me back my phone. Right? Give me back my phone. Sabihin sa'yo ng friend mo, no. Who said it was your phone? What's your proof? Lalabas mo, resibo. Right? O, resibo. I'm not a party to that contract. Why are you showing that to me? I did not sign that contract. What's the answer? 13.12. Diba? 13.12. In a contract creating real rights. Contract creating real rights. Third parties who come into possession of the object is bound by the same contract. Kuha? Yun. Pwede ba niya itago? Hindi, akin yan eh. When it became yours, when the phone became yours, it became a real right that you can enforce against anybody. Kuha? That is what is. Okay? 13.12. 13.12. 13.13. Creditors are protected in case of contracts intended to defraud them. What's that? Very simple. That's very easy. We've already been tackling that. Any contract where a creditor cannot collect can be annulled, can be rescinded. Diba? In other words, creditors are protected in instances where he is unable to collect. Saan yan? Remember in modes of extinguishing an obligation, condonation. Condonation must not be inofficious. Bakit? If you do not have sufficient assets to pay for you do not have sufficient assets to pay for your debts, you cannot condone. Neither can you donate. You have to make sure you have sufficient money to pay before you donate. Kuha? You protect the creditors for contracts intended to defraud them. Okay? Kuha? Next. Okay. Ito, 13-14. Ito ang instigador. Ito yung mga instigador. Sino sa inyo may kabarkada, meron kayong barkada or ganito kayo na, parin, inuman tayo mamayang gabi. Tala tayo. Iinom tayo mamayang gabi. Drink to death. Biglang babanag ka. Ang sagot mo eh, may exam of bukas eh, kailangan ko mag-aaral. Yan na nga ba sinasabi ko eh. Pag-aaral, nakakasama sa barkada eh. Huwag ka na, kaya mo na yan. Di mo na kailangan mag-aaral. Mas meron kayo ganun. Gagala tayo. Hindi, meron kasi akong klase. Absenan mo na! Huwag ka nang pumasok!
Cut.
Masama sa barkada. Sino ang gano'n? Relatable ba yung situation yan? Please note, they become as liable as the person who induced the other party to violate. The one who induced is as liable as the person who violated his contract. Kuha nyo? Kuha? Let's open natin isa. Girls, this is more a question for you girls. Yeah, this is for a lesson for the guys. What happens? Your boyfriend, okay, pagpasok mo sa kantin, nakikipaglandian sa isang babae. Sino aawayin nyo? Sino aawayin nyo? Bakit? Ang answer dun sa kabila, pareho. Sa kanya, lalaki muna, tapos yung babae. Yung isa, di ba babae muna? Bakit nadamay si babae? Bakit nadamay si babae? Malandi ka! Diba? Parang silang probinsyano. Diba? Ilabas mo ang asawa ko! 1340. The principle is 1340. Yung naglandi sa boyfriend mo, induced your boyfriend to become unloyal, disloyal. Therefore, she is as liable as your boyfriend.
Yes.
Yun ang prinsipyo nun. So, if A promised to sell a car to B, okay, to be delivered tomorrow, here comes C, tells A, why did you sell it for $500,000? I could sell it for 800,000. But I promised to give it to A already. Wag na. Ako, ito 800,000. Question, is A liable to B? A entered into a contract to sell his car to B for $500,000. Here comes C day before. Okay? And says, hindi na ako na bibili. Here's 800,000. Does it make sense for A to sell it to C instead of B? But does it make sense? The answer is yes. Why? 800, $500,000 makes sense. Diba? But is he liable to be? Yes. Diba? Why? Because you already entered into a contract. Is he liable to be? Yes. You induced A. You told A, huwag mo nang ibigay sa kanya, ito 800,000. Pati ikaw liable din for damages. Kuha? Even C is liable for damages. Kuha? So next time, be careful pag naging instigator ka. Kuha? You can be made liable for the same. Okay? Okay? Verse 14. 13:15. Contracts are perfected by mere consent. From that moment, the parties are bound not only to the fulfillment of what has been expressly stipulated, but also to all the consequences which, according to nature, may be in keeping with good faith usage in law. We've tackled this already, also in another first part yata, sources of contracts. Diba? Sources of obligations are contracts which must be complied with in good faith. Remember? Ano yung sabihin niyan? Remember si boyfriend, girlfriend, nagkasagutan, pwede bang mag-demand yung girl na sunduin mo ko sa kabilang building pag umuulan? Pwede bang mag-demand yung girl? Yes. Why? You are bound for all the consequences keeping this good faith. Diba? Kuha? In a regular contract, I promise to deliver to you a specific, I sold to you a car for 20,000 pesos. Diba? When you took delivery of the car, where's the key? The key is another matter altogether. You have to buy this from me for 800,000. Pwede? Bawal. Why? That's not in good faith. And under the law, you must deliver accessions and accessories. Diba? Kuha? So, you are not only bound by what is expressly agreed upon, but also the consequences or incidentals thereto. Kuha? Oh. Ano? 15. 16. Real contracts such as deposits, pledges, comodatums are not perfected until delivery of the object of the obligation. Please note, we're coming from this provision. Contracts are perfected by mere consent. Let's look at an example of contracts. Okay, we're gonna have a project. Form yourselves in groups of 4. Groups of 4, no more than 4. Groups of 4. You're not forming yourself in groups of 4. Sino ang nakagrupo?
Oh.
Who are the groups? Who are the groups? How do you know if you have 4 already?
You count.
Tatlo pa lang kayo. Nasa kayo. Oh. Groups of 4. Where's the first group?
Huh?
Nasaan yung first group? First group, 4. Magkakaroon ng incentive pag nagkaroon ng group of 4.
Oh yes, answer. Solo.
Paano kayo nagkasundo-sundo maging mag-group mate?
Meeting of minds.
Meeting of minds.
Ganun kasimple ang pagbuo ng grupo. Nagsiningan lang kayo.
Ano na natin eh.
Consent, perfected. You have a contract. Okay, so now, there are exceptions. General rule, contracts are perfected by mere consent. Magkatinginan na, nagkakintatan. Okay na kami. May contract na. So, ha? That's how fast it is to form a contract. Now, exception. Real contracts. Okay? Nakalimutan ng clicker. Okay, so real contracts, such as deposits, pledges, and comodatums are the exception. Meaning, una, what's a deposit? What's a contract of deposit? Deposit? Is it when you go to the bank and say, I hereby deposit money to my bank account? Yan, i-deposit ko, it's credited to my account. Is that a contract of deposit? No. That's a contract of loan. Whenever you deposit money in a bank, you are loaning money to the bank. That is why it is credited to your account. Because as far as the bank is concerned, it's a liability. Diba? And whenever the bank gives you money, it is debited to your account because the bank made payment. So, ha? So, that's not deposit. Ano pa ba deposit? Okay. Baggage counter. Baggage counter, tama? Baggage counter. Deposit, depositor. Is this the contract of deposit? Diba? Yes. This is a contract whereby you turn over something for safekeeping and then it will be returned to you later. Okay? That's deposit. Now, obviously, even though you agree to the deposit, if you do not turn over something, there is no deposit. Diba? O ha? Para yung, your teacher says, what's an example? Teacher, exam, no cell phones allowed. All cell phones on the table. Okay, sir, because I have to take the exam. But you're not giving me your cell phone. Question, did you deposit your cell phone? Did you deposit? None. You did not deposit it. O ha? Oh. How about pledge? What's pledge? What's pledge?
I promise. No.
Promise. A contract of pledge is collateral. Pony. I go to Louvillier, I borrow 10,000. I will say, okay, can I borrow 10? What's your collateral? My cell phone. Pag sinabi niya, okay, but I do not want to give my cell phone. Do you think they will give me money? No. Why? There's no contract of pledge. Ayoko ibigay. Even if I have agreed to the pledge, if I don't want to give it to you, There's no pledge. Kuha? Kuha? Oh, how about comodatum? What is comodatum? Yan ang bago. What's comodatum? Comodatum is pahiram. Pahiram. If I will transfer it to you for you to use, and then subsequently you will return it to me later, that's comodatum. Okay? Problem with comodatum, yung ano dyan, parehang example. Can I borrow your cell phone? Can I borrow your cell phone? Sure! Can I borrow it? Yeah, I will give you the back. So, did I agree to the comodatum? Yes. Is there a contract of comodatum? Kung ayaw kong ibigay, walang komoda, wala kang pinahiram. Right? So, those contracts, well, contracts are generally perfected upon consent. Real contracts must have delivery also. Okay? Kuha? Kuha? 1317. So, no one may contract in the name of another without being authorized by the latter or unless he has by law a right to represent him. Contract entered into in the name of another by one who has no authority or legal representation or has acted beyond his powers shall be unenforceable unless it is ratified, expressly or impliedly by the person in whose behalf it has been executed before it is revoked by the other contracting parties. What's the easiest way to understand? Okay. Question. Can your dad set you up with somebody that you don't know for a date?
Maybe, yes.
Are you bound?
Yeah.
Can you be forced to go on a date with somebody you don't know?
Pretty much.
Ha?
Yeah.
Let's look at another. Okay, eto. When I was graduating from De La Salle University, our org, which is Council of Student Orgs, organized a grad ball. We organized a grad ball. So, nag-aayos kami. I was looking for a date. I didn't have a date. I was one of the organizers. So, I was too busy. I didn't have a date. Okay. Now, it just so happened that while we were organizing the date, I was also traineeship marketing officer of ISEC. Traineeship marketing officer of ISEC. National traineeship marketing officer. So, I went around different schools. Okay? ISEC at that time, in Metro Manila, there were 4 chapters. Ateneo, UP, LaSalle, and Merino. Those were our chapters. So I went around the schools to talk to traineeship marketing officers, directors. When I got to Merino, I met my friend who was the president of ISEC Merino and said, Luis, I heard wala kang date sa ball. Sabi ko, paano makarating sa ito ang GCC? Nasa lasan yung eskwela ako. Alam mo naman na ISEC chismoso. So, but don't worry, naihanap na kita ng date. Oo, naihanap kita ng date. Medyo suplata nga lang, ha? Tsaka medyo may freckles, but otherwise, you will not be disappointed. Sabi ko, sorry, Dina, but it's my grad ball. I want to enjoy my grad ball. I don't want to entertain a stranger. Thank you na lang. Can I do that? Yes. Can I do that? Hindi ba pwede sabihin sa akin, Lina, but Luis, mapapahiya ako. No, I did not give you authority. But never mind. And that's what actually I did. I said, no, wag na lang. Lina, thank you, but no thank you. Sigurado ka? I said, oh yes, I can find a date on my own. I'm not that desperate. So, I missed the chance to date Gretchen Barrera.
Oh. What?
Ganon din ang reaction ko. Precisely, what alam na story, tatlong muna kong sito. Kung hindi ka na agad. But then, of course, Gretchen Barreto was not as pretty as she used to be. That she is, well, actually, parang fake na eh. But then, literally, ano siya, maraming freckles. Isa freckles. Her hair was a little frizzy, but it was okay.
You could have married into
But
money.
at least yung the mere fact that I could have said, nakaka-date ko yan, di ba? This
Amen.
is that article. Di ba? No one can enter into a contract without your permission. You can say no unless you ratify. Di ba? Kung ano ba sinabi sa akin na, siya, sige, si Greg, ano yan, Viva Star, uy, teka, sino? Diba? Okay? If I said, Gretchen, sure, why not? Ratify. I ratify the contract. Commercial terms. How will it be in commercial terms? Okay? Your friend told you, wait, remember your car? Your Volkswagen? I sold your Volkswagen. Sabi mo, teka, sino may sabi sa inventa? Well, binenta ko, di ba? Hate na hate mo yung Volkswagen mo? So, binenta ko. Question, are you bound by the sale? Are you bound by the sale that your friend entered into? I sold your Volkswagen. Oh, are you bound by it? Your friend sold your Volkswagen without your permission. Are you bound? Diba? No. Why? Bakit? No authority. Okay? So sabi ng friend mo, ganun ba? O siya, sige, di babalik ko na yung 3 million na bayad dun sa Volkswagen mo. Baka sabi, wait, teka, masyado ka namang mabilis. Ito susi ng Volkswagen ko. Di ba? Ratify. O ha? Followed? That's commercial terms. That normally happens in instances where somebody entered into a contract without the consent of the owner of the property. Okay? So, question. That is general principles. General principles, once. General principles, twice. So, essential requisites of contract. 1318. This is the essential requisites of contract. There is no contract unless the following requisites concur. Please note, as mentioned before, a lot of things that we will talk about is actually something we took in obligations. What are the essential elements of an obligation? What are the essential elements of an obligation? Subject, object, juridical type. Kung titignan mo ang essential elements na contracts, it's the same. Phrase different. 1. Consent of contracting parties. Subjects. No subjects, no consent. Diba? Ha? Object, certain, which is the subject matter of the contract. Object. And then, juridical type, the cause of the obligation, which is established. Ha? It's the same. Phrase differently. Okay? Please note, when one of the items is missing, there is no contract. When one of those is missing, there is no contract. When one of them is impaired, you have a defective contract. Okay? Please note, this article is the most important article in contracts. Why? 80% of what we will tackle in contracts deals with this. 80% of contracts is actually 1380. Kuha? We start with consent. What's consent? Consent is manifested by the meeting of the offer and the acceptance of the thing and the costs which are to constitute the contract. Offer must be certain, acceptance must be absolute. Qualified acceptance constitutes a counter offer. Diba? Example, I want to buy that phone. Seller says, I am selling to you this phone. Is there a contract? Yes. Absolute. Meeting of offer and acceptance. Let's look at something. In a wedding, priest will stand up there and tell you, do you Man, take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife, to love and to hold, for richer or poorer, sickness or health, for better or for worse, till death do you part. What could be more certain than that? Diba? No conditions. Response? I do. What's more absolute than that? That's it. I do. Kuha? Oh. That is where a contract must be, that is how a contract is perfected. Paano yung kanina? Perform kayo ng group. Perform kayo ng group. Group, okay, go. Ayos, go. Taas na kayo ng kamay kasi may incentive. Nagmamadali. Diba? Oh. What happens is, you now have a contract. Why? Because offer is certain, acceptance, absolute. Kuha? Yan itong qualified acceptance. This is more common than you think it is. Sino pa sa inyo namamalengke? Goes to the market, buys fish, buys ano? Oh, pagdating mo doon, pabili nga ng nitong isda, magkano mo yung isda? Magkano yung isda? Diba? 40 pesos per kilo. 40 pesos per kilo. 30 na lang. Diba? 30 na lang. Qualified. You're not buying it for 40, but you're saying if it's 30, I'll buy. Qualified acceptance. Is there a sale? Wala pa. Bakit? Hindi pa tinatanggap ng kabila eh. Babansa hindi, ano lang, 35. Okay ba kung 35? O sige. Then you now have a contract. Kung ha? Parang Pawn Stars. Do you watch Pawn Stars?
Pawn Stars?
Yung nagdadala ng antique dun sa sandaan to sell. How much do you want for it? I'm looking for 12,000. Maybe 8,000? How about it? History Channel. History Channel. Nasa History Channel siya. Diba? Magtatawaran. Pag nagtawaran, there is no contract yet. There's only a series of offers coming, going back and forth. Until one says, I can do that. Doon, pasok ang contract. Follow? Then you have a contract. Why? They now agree. First paragraph. First paragraph. Oh. Second paragraph. Acceptance made by letter or telegram does not bind the offered. Offerer offers exempt from the time it comes to his knowledge. Contract in such a case is presumed to have been entered into in the place where the offer was made. Ano yan? This is a little bit of an anachronism simply because in today's technology, very few people do letters and telegrams. But we will look for a modern day equivalent. Modern day equivalent is text. Your friend offered to sell his laptop to you. Offered to sell his laptop to you. Okay. Unfortunately, you did not, sabi natin, okay, so pinadala sa'yo. Sabi ko, uy, I like the laptop. Okay, I'm buying it tomorrow. After a while, your friend responded, too late, already sold it to C. Is he in breach of obligation? You offered it to me, tapos you sold it na pala to somebody. Pwede ba? Pwede mong sabihin yun? Bakit mo pa in-offer sa akin? Binenta mo pala sa iba. Most likely, sasagot sa'yo ng kaibigan mo, ang bagal mo sumagot eh. Meron tuloy nakabili na bago ka sumagot. Right? Is it possible? Yes. Second paragraph. Diba? Acceptance is not binding until the person reads it. Diba? So yung nawalang text, hindi umabot na text, sorry, no acceptance. Kuha? Kuha? Oh, that is 1319. 1319. 1320. Acceptance may be expressed or implied. Express is sold. Diba? Agree, we have a deal. Diba? Express. Implied. Implied? No, actually it's because of the laser. Wala siya makita na lang. Accept implied. What did he say? Yes? No, but from his actions, we can tell it's a yes.
Okay.
Right? Implied. Kuha? Oh. Person making the offer may fix the time, place, and manner of acceptance, all of which must be complied with. Let's look for an example. Okay, nagkaroon ng job fair at De La Salle University. One of the companies said, okay, we will hire 20 La Salle students. We are offering jobs in La Salle. For La Salle students, 20 students will be taken in our program. Claro. Sabi ng company, those who are interested, please apply at our HR in our head office at any time of the business day of a business, at any business hour, starting Monday until Friday next week. Thereafter, we will choose the people that we will take in. Tama? Right? Is that fairly common? That's actually 1321. Why? They're offering jobs. But they're offering jobs. It's up to you to come in. Kuha? And they impose time, regular business hours, from Monday to Friday next week. Diba? Place, head office. You have to send it to our head office or we will not consider. Diba? And manner of acceptance. We will evaluate those who we will accept. Diba? All of which must be complied. Kuha? Kuha? Why? Prerogative ng offeror yan. If the offeror wants it that way, then you must comply in order to accept. Kuha? 22. Offer made through an agent is accepted from the time acceptance is communicated to him. Obviously, para yun yung telegram. Para yung telegram. A, planning to sell his land. B, X says, o sige, maghanap ako ng buyer. O sige, I'm offering it for sale. X goes to B, tells B, B, are you willing to buy the property of A for this price? B says, okay, I'm buying. Question, is there a contract of sale? Wala pa. Hindi pa alam ni seller eh. Diba? Antayin mong sabihin ni seller, ni agent, kay seller. Okay? That's 1322. 1322. Okay? 23. Offer becomes ineffective upon death, civil interdiction, insanity or insolvency of either party before acceptance is conveyed. Yan yung A. Goes to B and tells B, B, I'm selling my car for 50 pesos. Nabenta pa yung kotse. Patay na eh. Diba? Hindi na mabuhod. Okay? Tapos, okay? Offer becomes ineffective. The only thing that you may find confusing there or complicated is civil interdiction. What's civil interdiction? Civil interdiction is when your rights are curtailed. Okay? Court removes certain rights that you have. Example, if you are convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude, the court will impose upon you a perpetual disqualification from holding public office. Diba? Hindi ka na pwedeng mag-occupy ng public office. Civilly interdicted. Kuha? Kuha niya? Let's look at something that you can relate better with. Are you being prohibited by your parents from having a boyfriend until you graduate? Meron ba kayong mga parents na bawal mag-boyfriend, bawal mag-girlfriend until graduation?
Passively aggressive.
Okay? For those of you with parents like that, don't feel too bad. Okay? If you think your parents are strict, my parents refused to let me go out on a date at the age of 21 without a chaperone. Bawal mag-date na walang chaperone. Dad, lalaki ako. Bakit na? Ikaw ang huling pag-asa kong maging abogado. Anyway, okay, so, what is civil interdiction? Assuming your parents did not tell you na bawal mag-boyfriend-girlfriend until you graduate college. Question, pwede ka bang manligaw or magpaligaw? Pwede, wala naman sinabing bawal eh. Diba? So, your offer is valid and subsisting. Particularly mga guys, pag nag-propose ka, diba? Your offer is valid and subsisting. Now, after you have proposed to a girl, guys, or the girls, after a guy has proposed to you and you said, I will consider, you went home very happy, and then you met your dad. Balita ko, nanliligaw ka daw or nililigawan ka daw. Usapang matino, bawal mag-boyfriend until you graduate. Question, pwede mo bang sagutin or ituloy ang panliligaw dun sa babae?
Yes.
No more. Civilly interdicted. Pinagbawalan ka eh. Oh, hindi na, sorry. Joke. Hindi na. Wala na eh. Paano sinabihan ka? Hindi pwede. Pag tinuloy mo pa, delikado ang tatay mo. Ha? Civil interdiction. O ha? Kaya kailangan secret. 12:23. 23. Ah, 24. Ito. Okay. Here's another article which you may find very useful in order to impress your parents. When the offer is allowed to offer you a certain period to accept, offer may be withdrawn at any time for acceptance by communicating such withdrawal, except when the option is founded upon consideration of something paid or promised. Example. You are offering to sell your laptop for 15,000.
Wow.
Your friend says, I'm interested. Can you give me 3 days to raise the money? Okay? He said, okay. The next day, another friend appears and says, you're selling your laptop, I'm buying it for 17,000. Can you sell it to that other friend?
Yes.
After you have given your first friend 3 days to raise the money, can you sell it to another person? Answer?
False. Yes?
Offer may be withdrawn at any time if you have given the offeree a certain period to accept. Diba? So it can be withdrawn before acceptance is communicated by communicating such withdrawal. Okay? So you can withdraw. Okay? Except when it is founded upon a consideration. For example, sinabi sa'yo ng friend mo, I'm interested to buy your can you give me 3 days? Diba? Just to make sure. Okay, I'll give you, here's 300. 100 for each day that you are giving me. Pwede ba yun? Yes, that is called an option contract. You are paying for the period within which to consider whether to accept the contract or not. Kuha? Kuha niya? In other words, is it reservation fee? No. This is a fee for the time, not for the object. Kuha? Kuha niya? Kuha? What happens if after 3 days, I decide not to buy? Do I get to refund? Do you refund the 300? Answer, no. Why? You used it for the 3 days. That's compensation for the 3 days. Whether you buy it or not, it doesn't apply to the price. Diba? Akin na yung 300 na yun. Kuha? Okay, that's called an option contract. Does it happen often? Very few people are familiar with it. Very few people are familiar with it. Those who are familiar with it can actually stand to benefit. In particular, when your parents start selling properties, you will find out about it. More often than not, ang nangyayari dyan, kinukulit ang seller ng ahente. Sige na! Diba? Bibiling ko na. Or ng buyer, sir, pinaprocess ko lang yung loan ko. O ito, para bibigyan ko kayo ng earnest money. Bibigyan ko yung earnest money para to show my good faith. Tigilan yung parents nyo. You tell your parents, excuse me, Dad, don't accept the earnest money. Why? Once earnest money is accepted, there is already a perfected contract of sale. Diba? Bakit? Ang earnest money is down payment. Diba? Earnest money is down payment. Kuha? What's the impact? Okay. I've had a lot of clients with this problem. Here's this man selling his property for 1.2 million. Here comes buyer, tells man, sir, pinaprocess ko ang loan ko sa SSS. Huwag niyo ho ibenta sa iba. First come, first serve. O hindi, bibigyan ko kayo ng earnest money na. Binigyan ng earnest money. Tinanggap. After 6 years, hindi ma-process ang loan. What is the value of the property? It is now at 5 million. Can he sell it for 5 million? No. Why? Kasi may perfected contract of 1.2 million. Kailangan muna niyang pa-cancel yung 1.2 million na sale bago niya maibenta. See? That is the problem when you use earnest money. Kuha? So, warn your parents if they are being forced to accept earnest money, you say no, don't. Maiipit tayo. Followed? Kuha? Oh. So, that is option money and earnest money. Oh. Yan. Unless it appears otherwise, this is advertisements of this particular method offers, but invitations to make an offer. Sino sa inyo nanonood ng ASIC TV? Home Shopping Network.
Oh.
Sa Home Shopping Network. Sino sa inyo nanonood? Do you watch that? It's actually entertaining. Wow, look at that. It gleams like a rock. And this product can be yours for an amazing discounted price. Oh, just call our operators. Our operators are standing by at 855-799. Naabutan niyo sa
This water.
Oh,
This water from your cancer.
So, nakita mo, uy, interested ako. Naloko rin ako dyan. Interested ako, tawag. Diba? Can I call HSN and say, sold? Kasi minsan na operator, sir, alin ho? Sold! May napanood ako, nag-o-offer kayo nagbenta sa TV. Sold! Accepted! Sabi sir, ano nga po yun? Sa dami mong nang lumabas, hindi namin alam kung ano yung ina-accept nyo. Diba? Why? Because it's not an offer to sell. It is an offer. It is an invitation for you to offer to buy. Kuha? Kaya ang mangyari doon, ano yung binibili nyo? Ito, mag-place ako ng order. O ikaw na nag-offer to buy. O sige po, padadala po namin sa noong address. Kuha? More updated version. Kanina ko lang naisip, may updated version. Ganyan-ganyan ang Lazada. Diba? For sale. For sale, this product, Ecos cartridges. Or, sling bag. Uy, okay yan. Sige, sold. Sige ba ako tumawag sa Lazada? Oh, sold. Ang alin mo, we have 1,000 products. Please tell us what you want to buy. Diba? Yan. 1325. Kuha? Kuha? Oh. Next, 1326. Advertisements for bidders are simply invitations to make proposals. Advertiser is not bound to accept the highest or lowest bidder unless contrary appears. Okay, how do I get you to understand this one? Question. What's a debut? What's a debut?
Amount of money
Do
wasted.
you know what it signifies? A debut.
Amount of money.
That's part of it. Nagdadalaga na. The girl is now a lady. Oh. Guys, what's a debut? What's a debut? What's the significance of a debut? Ladies, gentlemen, you should be more curious about what the things that are happening in this world. Oh, question. What's a debut? What's the significance of a debut?
Free food.
Is it just a party? There's more significance to than the parties. Okay. What's the most famous debut that you've ever seen or that you are familiar with? MOA Arena. Most popular, most well-known debut. Sad part about it, you were not even aware that it was a debut. Debut. Most popular debut? Cinderella.
Oh.
The Prince.
What?
That was the debut of the Prince.
Oh.
What's the significance? Diba? What's the significance? Take note, guys has a debut. It's at age 21.
What?
Yes, age 21, debut ng guy. What does it mean? It's not that they have attained adulthood. It is more along the line of, I am getting ready. I am ready to marry.
Oh shit.
Diba? Yun ang dahilan
Very
ng
good.
debut. Okay? For girls, in the medieval times, the debut was younger. Our daughter is ready for suitors. Diba?
Oh.
Are now accepting suitors. Therefore, all eligible bachelors, please introduce yourselves to our daughter.
Yeah.
Yun ang debut. Kaya sa Cinderella, diba, the prince was there waiting for all eligible bachelorettes. Diba? Na ginigreet niya because I'm choosing a wife. Cinderella. Oh, Cinderella, kuha? Oh, I am choosing a wife. Debut. Okay? What does that have to do with this? That is an advertisement for bidders.
Oh.
Diba? That's an advertisement for bidders. Okay, here is the prince who wants to marry the prince. Make your bids.
$1.
Diba? Make your bids. The prince is not duty bound to accept the prettiest, the richest, or the most popular. He can choose whoever he wants. Kuha? Kuha? In business terms, how does that work? Let's look at more commercial term kasi yun okay, when I was chairman of Deloitte in the Philippines, it was not uncommon for me to receive a letter from a multinational company. Dear Mr. Manaba, our company is looking for an auditor. Could you please submit your name on this time, this date, this place? Pagdating ko ba doon, pwede ko ba sabihin, sold! We are your auditors. Hindi. I have to convince them. Diba? So more often than not, when I get there, typical scene is, kasama ko yung partner ko, kasama ko yung tax partner ko, kasama ko yung audit partner ko, magkatabi kami. Pagpasok namin doon, makikita namin yung mga partners ng SGB. Makikita namin ang partners na walking kunanan. Nando kayo, oh pare, pinadala rin ba kayo? Oh, pinadala kami. Diba? Tapos isa-isa kaming papapasokin. Papasokin. So, then, Manabat Delgado Ampere, please, your turn. About 60% of the time, we beat SGB and Pricewaterhouse or Walking Kunanan sa bidding. talo namin, hands down. 60% of the time, we get that out. Okay. Galit na galit sila sa ano ba ang ginagawa nyo? Why? Are we the cheapest? No. Are we the most competent? No. Okay. So how do we win it? Very simple. Sila, pag sinabi, or we're looking for an auditor, they'll think, oh, this is our company. We are, no, this is our history and all that. And then, this is our manner in which we do audit, and this is ganyan. And we believe that we can be of service to you. Thank you. Next, papasok. Our style is different. Our style is different. Whenever we go to the house, okay, sir, before we start the presentation, can we ask questions? Ha? What questions? Sir, tama ba intindi namin? Ang problem nyo kasi ganito. We will outline. Is this your problem? Yes, kasi ganyan. Oh, kasi ganito nangyayari sa inyo, right, sir? Right. Oh, sir, at the risk of losing this engagement, we believe you do not need an auditor. If that is what you're looking for, that is not the solution. Why? What's wrong? Sir, I think the service that you're looking for is actually this one. Explain po. Hindi ka gaya. Oh. Yes. Oh. Hindi nyo kailangan sir ng auditor. Bakit po auditor na hinahanap? Diba, you're getting something that you cannot use. Even. Why? Because we listen to what the client needs. It's not what he can afford. Kaya namin nakukuha. After about 2 years na iisahan namin ng SGB sa hawak Pricewaterhouse, they started changing their approach also. Now they're saying, no, we cannot offer you something that you do not know. Nasimulan na namin yun doon. But, that is the principle there. The client does not have to get the cheapest or the most expensive or the prettiest or the best. They can choose the one they are most comfortable with. 26. 26. Here. 26. Who cannot give consent? Who cannot give consent to a contract? Unemancipated minors. Sino yan? Unemancipated minors are minors under parental authority. Ano yung sabihin minors under parental authority? Is there any other? You'd be surprised. The age of majority actually changes. It actually changes, and you will see that in a later article. It actually changes. There was a time when age of majority was at the age of 21. Sometime in 1960s, the age of majority is 21. But you were allowed to marry at the age of 16. Okay? Now, under the law, if you are married, you become emancipated. You can enter into contracts. Bakit? You're old enough to have your own family, you're old enough to enter into contracts. You need to doon. Okay? Then later, Marcos said, no, minors, age of majority is 16. Age of majority is 16. He came out with a presidential decree saying age of majority is 16. Bakit? Walang gustong yung the opposition were starting to gather strength. Ang mga bumoboto laban na kay Marcos. So ano ginawa ni Marcos? Nagtayo siya ng kabataang barangay, the youth of the Philippines, na brainwashed to support the Marcos regime. Okay? So, what happened? In order to win the election, binabaan niya ang voting age. 16. Because they are already majority. At na-train na namin. Diba? So, kanya na yung tao. He brought it down. When Cory got into power, Cory said, none of this nonsense. Let's come out with the family code. She came out with the family code declaring that age of majority is 18 and marrying age is also 18. So wala na ngayong unemancipated minors. So, wala nang unemancipated minors. For now, because the family code says age of majority is 18, marrying age is 18. Pinareho na niya. Okay? So that's why there's unemancipated person. Insane or demented persons. Isn't it the same? What's the same? Isn't it the same? Insane or demented persons. Is it the same? Is it? Why not? Because the word says or, not yet. Diba? Or. If it's or, di bagay. Diba? Oh, what's the difference? What's the difference between insane or as opposed to demented? Take note, this is one time where a dictionary will not help you. Okay, what's the difference between insane and demented persons? Okay. Under the Supreme Court definition, insane people are those who cannot determine right from wrong. Okay? People who cannot determine right from wrong. Demented persons are those who have taken leave of their senses. Diba? Yung isa sira ulo, yung isa iba. Yun yung for want of a better term. Okay? Example, insane. Hindi. Mas mabilis maghanap ng demented. Question, who watched God is Not Dead? God is Not Dead? Have you watched God is Not Dead? You're missing a lot. Those are one of those few things that you should watch. You should look for. God is Not Dead one. Anyway, one of the instances there, end credits, end part of the story was, here was this top caliber lawyer who was not happy with his life, talking to his mother who was in a nursing home. Bakit? Suffering from Alzheimer's. Yung mother. So nakatingin lang, you know, I have a son. He visited me yesterday. Sabi nung ma, I haven't been here for 5 years. No, my son visits me every day. Demented. Okay. Why? She knows what's right or wrong. Diba? She just can't piece together the story. What's another example? If you are so drunk, you're actually demented. Diba? Liquid courage. Diba? Mas matapang ka pag lasing ka. Bakit? Hindi nga, you have taken leave of your senses. Kuha? Oh, that's demented. Insane, yan yung kleptomania. Sa kanya, it's okay to steal. Diba? Mga kleptomania, sex mania, mga those are insane people. Kuha? Cannot give consent. Okay? And then of course, like yun, so do not know how to read or write. Ito ang pinaka-nakakaawang tao sa mundo. Why? How do you communicate with this person? He cannot hear, he cannot see. He cannot hear, he cannot talk. Neither can he write. How can he tell you what he wants? Kuha? Whether you're communicating with him or not, you don't know. Follow? They cannot give consent. Okay, which means consent given by these people are defective. Okay? So, we start from 1328. Start from 1328 next meeting. Okay? Coverage of the quiz next meeting is chapter 2.
Okay.
Chapter 2, the next slide. The quiz next meeting. The next slide, chapter 2. Chapter 1 yung first day. Obligations. Obligations pa tayo. Okay, see each other.
Where are we getting it?
What year is gonna get